Shit.
Chris Barrett, can you hear us now?
Yeah, we'll wait. And then I'll start over. I don't know why I would say mute there.
Because you didn't unmute it.
But I never have to unmute it. It's already unmuted.
Well, apparently not, because we were muted.
Well, you know what that means.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, what's up,
You don't even know if you can hear us yet.
Tony Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the big podcast show. Holla at a player.
I want to go home. He can hear us now because you unmuted some bits.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world.
Like I said before when we were muted, he's been drinking again.
The Road Dogg, Tino Gray. The Badass, Rob Potsy Podcast.
Like I was trying to get you to tell, now they can hear us, the 2 stories on why you were late. I'm going to stop trying to get here on time.
I said 2 stories?
You did. You said I got 2 stories.
Let me see your text message.
No, you called me. See, that's how drunk you called me. And I said, first of all, I said, how long are you going to be home? You're like, it's 7:35 now. I'm like, no, bitch, it's 7:41.
Well, and you were right.
I know it's right.
It was weird because, like, I looked at my car. And my car said it was 7:37 or whatever.
Well, you need to fix the time in your car.
And then I looked at my phone and I was like, shit. Because I didn't want to be wrong about that, you know, and it just.
And you were wrong. I was right.
And I admit that.
Do you remember any other story on why it took you so long to leave Ruckus to get here?
Oh, I know exactly why it took me so long to leave Ruckus.
Okay, why? Because apparently that was the funny story. But then you said you had another funny story.
I don't know if it's a funny story.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So, who is my college football team?
Notre Dame.
All right. So, as I'm getting ready to leave, Notre Dame right now, before tonight, when the college football playoff committee sits there and determines where they're supposed to be, right now, Notre Dame, based on the college coaches poll, is number 5. Okay. So they're 1 spot out of the college football playoff. So as I'm getting ready to leave, there's somebody there that sits there and goes, "Oh, you're a Notre Dame fan."
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I just paid. I'm trying to leave.
You should have fucking left.
I should have fucking left. And she goes,
oh, that's why you stayed.
She said,
pronouns, pal. That's why you stayed.
And you know.
Did you get a number?
No. I wasn't even trying because I said, I got to be here for the show.
You wouldn't have tried if it was fucking Wednesday. When you're at this damn show, you wouldn't have tried. You wouldn't have tried.
I was going to try.
You wouldn't have tried.
Okay. I tried.
Okay.
And in fact, I had paid already.
Okay.
And then had to pay for another drink because I was like, all right, why would I buy another drink?
All right. So
anyways.
So what happened?
So the whole thing was whether or not Notre Dame should be ahead or behind Ohio State.
Right.
Ohio State currently is number 3 in the polls. And after tonight with the college football playoff committee and everything, Notre Dame probably will stay around number 5 or number 6.
Okay.
Ohio State will probably stay number 3. But Ohio State plays Michigan Friday maybe. Friday or Saturday. And both of the teams are 9-1. Notre Dame's 10-1.
Okay.
Notre Dame right now is in the college football coaches poll. They're ahead of Michigan, but they're behind Ohio State.
Okay.
Oregon was ahead of both of them, and then Oregon lost to Utah, so they
got kicked back.
Woo! Like it was like, and you just saw them go by, right? So now everybody's going, is Ohio State better or worse than Notre Dame. The only team that Notre Dame has lost to is Cincinnati. Cincinnati is like, depending on your poll, number 3 or number 4.
Okay.
Actually, number 2, number 3, or number 4, depending on where they're really ranking them. And the reason why is because they're undefeated. So they're only one of 2 undefeated major teams. And their major win is against Notre Dame.
So what's this got to do with you being late?
Someone asked me my opinion.
Oh, okay. That's where she fucked up.
That's where everybody fucked up. That's where the show fucked up, right? Because like we knew I wasn't leaving until I gave my opinion.
Was there nobody there to stop her?
Not even Terrence. Terrence was like, I want Rob to sit there and go ahead and take.
Terrence is at work.
He was.
Yeah.
So he was like, let's go ahead and get Rob to sit there and talk about this as long as we possibly can.
I don't think he said that.
He tried to get me to buy food.
I don't believe that. He knew you had a show to do.
He gave me a fucking menu.
He knew you had a show.
He tried to get me to buy food tonight.
I'm gonna cuss T out next time I see him.
You should.
Anyway.
Especially if it's this weekend, because SmackDown, Friday night.
I'm not going.
No, we're not paying for it.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
that.
Okay.
Fuck that.
I thought you were going. I'm like,
No. After all these layoffs and everything, I'm not paying for.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the group, with that one guy, I don't even know what his name is, sitting there saying, "Oh, you want to know about the contracts? Oh, fuck this guy. Fuck him." I don't know, man. The guy in our Facebook group that's been like pissing me off.
Oh, you're just kicking out yard administrator.
I am, but like I try to give everybody their just desserts, right? Well,
he's not saying anything worth getting kicked out. He's just not agreeing with you.
No. So let me put it this way.
I hadn't noticed that guy.
So, friend of the show, Charles Wright.
Yes. He's pissing you off?
No.
Oh.
He replied to the fact that this guy, not Leonard that you and I have known for 20-something years,
okay, but
the other Leonard in the group, he sat there and like, when I went, hey, what's an AEW contract look like?
okay.
Does it look like the
is that the one you were asking about?
Does it look like the Jacksonville Jaguars contract? Does it look like the soccer contract?
Somebody was asking if they were subcontractors. Was that not you? Was that a different post?
No, I didn't. I didn't even ask any of that. I literally said,
I remember that post you're talking
what's about. The contract look like? Does it look like? And folks, we'll get to the fun stuff that we normally do here in a bit. But I want to point this out. I literally sat there and said, Tony Khan recently came out and said that WWE contracts are not structured like real contracts.
Right.
So what are AEW contracts structured like? Are they structured like the NFL contracts, which would be very similar to a WWE contract, which is independent contractor, because the NFL, even though it is under a union, allows for people to be cut under no circumstance, right? Or are they more structured like the UEFA contracts of Tony Khan's dad's soccer franchise? And I don't know this guy Leonard or what his name, like what his deal is, but he sits there and he goes, oh, this is where we're at now. Like we're gonna sit there and blow up the contract and sit there and go like, why is it? And I'm like, dude, I'm asking because I run a podcast and I run a show where we talk about this kind of stuff, and we actually try to break down.
I keep hitting the wrong one. I'm listening. I keep hitting it on the.
It's all right. You can actually go like this.
Oh, I forget his touch.
And click on that, and it'll pull up what Chris Barrett's actually saying. And Chris Barrett's actually saying, no, the AEW contract is written in crayon, and that's why
you put it on there.
I'm only saying that that's what one of our listeners and viewers actually says. But my point is that this guy Leonard sat there and continued to drag it on because I sat there and said, I don't know why you're sitting here coming at me like somebody who doesn't actually look at themselves as a fan, because I currently have tickets to the next 2 AEW local shows and do not and have not paid for a WWE local show.
We have not. You're right.
You did. I did not.
Last Raw, that was awesome.
I did not. I literally,
because you had to work.
But I stuck to my gun.
Wait, I didn't pay for that ticket either. Now that I think about it.
Point is that I did not
go
support WWE and their current movement.
Right.
When I could have. And you and I just said, we're not going to SmackDown. SmackDown is Friday, 30 minutes down the road.
Yes.
And we are not going.
No.
We may watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Because we always do. And because as part of the show, that's what we offer to you as our opinion of the show after it happens. But we are not paying the $20 minimum price for the ticket. And parking or whatever. Although, I don't know, the Greensboro Coliseum actually is pretty cheap for parking.
Yeah.
I remember the post you talking about that, right?
Is that the GameStop that's by my house? Is that him?
No. Michael Turner lives in Michael lives in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was because I went to.
So when I would go to the comic book shop out in Rocky Mount, Michael would always come visit. And one of my favorite people in the world. He literally is. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So I said he's one of my favorite people in the world. You're my brother.
Well, you gotta help me. I gotta take the Battlefield back because I didn't realize it didn't have a campaign, and I don't like it. How long? What's the return policy on that?
If you opened it, it's not returnable. Did you guys see that?
Fuck. Might trade it in. I only played it once and I realized it didn't have a campaign. And I was like, fuck this.
I think it's supposed to get a campaign.
Oh, it is?
I don't know.
Oh. Because right now it sucks ass.
I haven't worked there in a year, man. Like,
I thought you were still down.
I try.
I guess he can come host next. What the hell does that mean? Oh, because he's one of your favorite people. He's trying to bump me off the show. Huh?
Yeah, Michael, you can always come on the show. You know that.
He's trying to bump me off the show. So
no. This is the Potsy and Tino show.
I'm trying to make it the Potsy and Michael show. I'll see what you do.
Well, is your head that cold? It ain't that cold in my house.
I know, but I got hat head.
You ain't got no hair. What the?
I said head.
What is it, like rippling in the?
No, and I like it. It is keeping my head warm.
So, what was I saying? Oh, so
the on the poster dude pissed you off.
Yeah, like, and you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I had to do the same thing. So my buddy Scott and I started this group. How many years ago? 2, 3?
Yeah.
It's maybe even 5 years ago. Like it's been a long time. And to Michael, we love you.
Oh, man, love you too.
We love you. So, but I mean, like, I finally, like, I let everybody sit there and try to give their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our Facebook group, we got 100 and something people that are actually part of that.
I just sit back and watch the fireworks sometimes.
And
I don't.
I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also not a admin or anything else. Mm-hmm. You could be, because we would trust you to be one.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, like Saturday, I sit there and I have to Facebook message Scott, who's the other guy, that the guy in Oklahoma that we started the whole group with. And I'm like, Scott, what is up with this guy? Like, why is he like? I literally asked a question about the contracts, and he goes, "Oh, this guy wants to talk about the contracts about God." Da, da, da. And I'm like, all I did was ask, how are they written? Are they written the same way that WWE contracts are, where these people are independent contractors? Are they written?
I don't think they are. I think they have
And-
insurance.
And then my question is, and this is my real question, are the contracts written in a way that they're similar to the NFL contracts?
Mhm.
And the reason why I ask that question is because if they're similar to the NFL contracts, they're very similar to the WWE contract, because NFL football players
Are they subcontractors?
can get cut,
Mhm.
and they can get cut with a fraction of their salary going against the salary cap. Well, in WWE, all those contracts are owned by WWE, so there is no salary cap.
Mm-mm.
So if they cut them, there's a cut,
Right.
right? So that was where I was trying to go, because Tony Khan himself came out, Tino, and said WWE contracts aren't written like real contracts at all. So that's where me, as a curious guy who runs a YouTube show,
Yeah.
wants to know,
Well, how they written then?
how the fuck are they written?
Yeah.
Because I'm totally cool with somebody sitting, and this is where it went off the rails. I didn't say anything about length of contract, who works where, who works what, whatever. And all of a sudden, this dude sits there and starts going, what, just because some AEW wrestler is working in New Japan, you think that the contract is written? I didn't say anything like that. All I asked was,
Mhm.
Tony Khan flat out said that WWE contracts don't look like WWE contracts. So what do they look like? And where do they go? Am I wrong as a person who runs a YouTube show talking about the two major wrestling promotions that
That's like that other important question. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kindergarten cop. Who is your daddy and what does he do? I did it for the Rock.
It's funny that you say that, because I saw a video on TikTok this week
Mhm.
where it legitimately was the kid who was the little kid that said, boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
You seen the TikTok?
He's 30 years old,
Have you
man.
seen the TikTok with the dude that was in was it like, you're killing me, Smalls? That dude, he's got a TikTok now. Those things are hilarious.
And he says it
Did
constantly.
you see the one where his kids, they're going trick-or-treating and his kids came out as like Ghostbusters, like, come on, Dad. He's like, I don't want to come out. Come on, Dad. I want to come out. They made him come out. Look at his ass, just like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I'm glad you're trying to lighten the mood,
How you saying?
because I'm still
mad?
I'm still kind of pissed about this.
Well, let's get
And let me go ahead and say that I had to.
almost 30 minutes in. We started 8:15, it's 8:35, and you're still Rob's rant. We should have that still.
I should add that back. But let me go ahead and let me and we haven't even gotten to like what's up with you or anything.
Right? We got a whole.
We literally started with this. So let me go ahead
Sorry,
and
folks.
well, you asked like why
You were late, and
it's because I needed to go drink. I needed to, because otherwise this would be even worse. All right. But let me so I sit there, I message Scott. I'm like, Scott, think we might have another, because we literally in like 5 years with this group, I think it's 5 years,
Mhm.
we've kicked out one person.
Oh, man. And
We've
why?
kicked out one person because they couldn't respect the rules. And the rules are pretty simple.
Tell them the rules. Might as well.
The rules of the group are respect everybody's opinion,
Mhm.
allow them to say what they want.
Mhm.
If you're going to argue, give a legitimate argument towards it. But really,
Just respect people.
it's let them say what they want and then say what you need. This guy is giving like the, oh, this guy's just a WWE homer.
Yeah.
So and suddenly it's become the one thing that all wrestling fans hate. And you know what that is, Tino? It's when a person sits there and goes, fuck your opinion, I'm AEW all the way.
Yep.
Nobody likes that.
No.
And that's kind of what this was. So I let him say everything that he wanted to. I then retorted to it professionally and said, I don't understand what your problem is here. I'm giving a question based on the fact that I run a YouTube show and want to know the answer. He then replied with another whole, I can't believe people would be against AEW, blah, 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 even though I never said anything like that.
Yep.
And then I flat out said, hey, the rules of the group are simple. Respect everybody's opinion. You're allowed to give your opinion. You're allowed to say what you feel is true.
Mm-hmm.
But don't beat anybody up.
Right.
And the group has been pretty successful for doing that, right?
Yeah. There's some pretty funny memes and videos too.
The one person that actually, yes, but the one person that actually is his Facebook friend that I think invited him to the group and has been a friend of mine for 20 years plus, Charles.
Oh, and me, okay.
Sat there and said, dude, seriously, like you might need to check this situation, and I'm paraphrasing. You might need to check this situation because you've already been kicked out of other groups.
Oh, damn.
And if it will happen with this group, maybe it's time that you actually like absorb the information and realize that it isn't the groups that are kicking you out.
If 3 groups has kicked you out, you're the only common denominator. The problem's you. I'll say it. I don't give a shit.
Thank you, Tino, for saying that. And as such, he hasn't said anything since.
Oh, he shut the fuck up.
But I appreciate that. And by the way, I truly appreciate Charles' statement because it rings true. Charles runs the other wrestling group that I'm part of.
Did Charles kick him out?
I don't know. And I won't look into that or anything. But what I will say is that
Charles after the show.
Is that you know how our show is.
Mm-hmm.
You know how our Facebook group is. Our Facebook group is a loving group that wants to get as much information out there as possible. Like you posted, and we'll talk about it tonight, Seth Rollins getting beat up.
God.
However,
that motherfucker, I saw another angle. That motherfucker speared him. But when he speared him, he got caught.
He got caught in a guillotine. And Seth Rollins was going to choke that motherfucker out.
We will talk about that.
And we'll talk about that because we'll break it down. Because you do not, under any circumstance, I don't care where you are, you do not take on a WWE superstar.
Because I think a lot of it is like, oh, wrestling's fake. Yeah, it might be choreographed, but those are real men and women. And the real Seth Rollins would have probably kicked your ass. Because he's trying to choke his ass out. You don't see them running at damn Lashley. You don't see them running at Lesnar. They thought they could take Seth, and he got proven wrong.
And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So Tino,
let's do it. Let's start running to this shit.
I apologize, folks, for having to sit there and run down that stuff. But Tino is going to give us what is up with you.
So I had an interesting weekend, and I don't know who all watches this show, but I had to tell the story because it's funny.
I want to hear it.
Okay, so Well, okay. So the reason why I was at this place isn't funny, but the thing that happened at this place is funny. So you remember a couple of months back?
Were you making sure that it works?
Yeah, you remember a couple of months
Yeah.
back? Oh, it always works. You remember a couple of months back when my friend? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was a good catch. That was a good catch.
I didn't. I didn't catch that last one, but I got that one.
Whoa, big fella.
Jeez. Jeez.
Just go on.
Like Lillian, you like strudel? Anyway,
Strudel.
so remember a couple
Jesus.
months back, my friend who was with the youth group, he passed away, and the son was in the hospital. Well, the son got out of the hospital. Then they had the memorial for David on Friday.
Sure.
So we're there, and so they had early during the day they had the graveside with the family, and it was a private party, or not private party, but private funeral. And then that afternoon they came back. Yeah, they came back, and we had just everybody got to go and remembrance, a memorial kind of thing.
Memorial, right?
And people were talking about telling funny stories about Dave and all this other stuff. So my pastor Bill, we've been cool for years. He was a youth pastor at my old church, and he planted this church, and we followed him this church. So now he's the senior pastor, was doing it. He was like in charge and doing everything. So Dave's father stood up, and Dave's father's elderly. He's had the cane and everything. He's older gentleman, probably in the 70s, maybe early 80s. So, respectfully, everybody else will come to the stage. Bill's like, "No, sir, you stay where you are." He handed the mic. Now I am sitting behind the family, so his father's here. Bill sat down on the steps in front of the stage where I could see Bill and Bill could see me. So everybody else is telling these funny stories about Dave and because Dave was a wild man. And so I can remember when Dave was in the first grade, and because they're from Durham, he said he's in the first grade, and I took him to see my mom, his grandmom, and she was asking him, how's school going? And he's like, good. She goes, "Are there any colored children in your class?" Nicole's sitting to my right. She grabs my hand. I look at her. She's like, "I heard this. I'm from the South."
I actually tried to grab Tino's hand while he mentioned it, by the way.
It didn't bother me because I'm from the South. I've heard it all. This is what made it funny. Now, his dad was, but his dad finished up and saying, and Dave was like, when he was in first grade, he's like, "Well, no, I'm colored too." So he was trying to say that Dave was not a racist person.
Right.
The way he went about it, we were like, this is what made it funny. Dave's dad, I'm like, I didn't want to laugh because his dad was obviously broken up.
Trying to be
together.
real.
You could hear in his voice.
Yes, trying to be real.
But remember, I got eye contact with the pastor. When his dad said that, the pastor was like, "The fuck he just say?" The look on his face, and that look almost.
By the way, Tino just said the pastor's look said, "The fuck did he just say?"
And I told Pastor Bill that too.
Did you say Bastard Bill?
Pastor Bill.
Oh.
And I said, "Oh my God!" And Bill was like, he was just in shock.
We should cut that for the TikTok.
And Nicole pulled my hand, and I'm like looking around, like, "Yeah, I'm the only black man in here." Because you're sitting there, and when something happens, you can feel eyes on you. I felt like everyone was looking at me like, "What's he gonna do? Oh my God, what's he gonna do?" I'm like,
"You should have stood up."
No, I didn't.
Just stand up.
Even his grandson. What the fuck you just say? Everybody looked at him, right? So, and I understood it was over, and we were getting up. We went to go, meet the family. I'm like, I'm gonna go find Bill. My wife's like, "Can I go? I want to see him." But she ended up talking to the widow.
Good stuff, man.
And I went into the corner. I'm like, "Bill, come here." Right? And so Bill goes, "I know." I said, "Bill, the what the fuck look you had on your face?" I know. He said, "I was just sitting there looking around thinking, who am I going to have to apologize to?" Because, like who was, was insulted. Who am I going to apologize? And then I looked up and I saw there's another black man. I'm like, "Oh, there's another one." And so I was like, I said, took everything in me, Bill, not to bust out at his facial expression. But it was, like I said, it was all good. But it was just we were like, "What the hell?" And then we went back to the house, their house afterwards, because they had people coming. And I guess the widow, her name is Jessica, she pulled Nicole. She goes, She said, "Did Tino hear?" I'm like, "Yeah, Tino was 2 feet behind him." Yes, she's like, "Tino's it's okay," but it's stuff like that. You got to find laughter in it. I mean, he didn't mean it, and it was funny.
Well, he didn't mean it in the way that it came across.
Yes, and that's
he meant the words that he said.
And
he just didn't mean them. He didn't mean them hurtful.
No, he was trying to prove a point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's why I didn't get pissed, because I knew what he was trying to say. So, but yeah, it was funny. Everybody was like, I think it was uncomfortable there because I was there for a little bit. And then Saturday we got up and Baby Seamus, Matthew is playing basketball now. So we took him to basketball practice, and then we went to a birthday party and just chilled and had a good time. And Sunday we didn't get out of pajamas. We just all day just chilled. And haven't told you. I got the promotion.
Haven't told you.
Haven't told them because I mentioned it. I mentioned it, a couple weeks ago. I was in for the promotion at work.
Yes.
I got the promotion at work. 7,000 increase, and I get to work from home, which is going to be awesome. So I'm back working at home. Yes.
Wow.
So it all worked out. It's all
he
good.
did tell me that, folks.
And that was last week after the show. So.
Yes. Yeah, so we didn't get the opportunity to actually explain it, but what great news on the What's Up With You segment,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving, dude, ready for Thanksgiving, ready for that turkey.
Ready for that turkey.
So what's up with you? We spent the first 45 minutes talking about so what else?
What else is up with
Make it
so Let me condense it. Hold on. Mentally condensing. No, so
Katie.
Is Katie in the show?
Welcome in. We miss you, Katie.
One of our favorite people. Katie actually.
I miss Katie.
Katie got a new store.
Where?
Wake Forest.
That's right. So
no. She just got this new store.
Congratulations.
And Tino, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think about the idea?
Miss you too, Katie.
What do you think about the idea?
Road trip.
Because it literally is right up 98 to get to her store.
Can I take her back to Battlefield that I don't like?
Katie, he bought Battlefield 2042 and it doesn't have a single player campaign, so he wants to return it. I told him GameStop doesn't take open games.
Well, I had to open it to realize it wasn't a campaign. I'm pissed, Katie. No,
you take it back to Derek out in Apex.
Well, now I know where Katie is.
But
Katie used to be in Apex. She left me.
She did not on her own volition.
I know.
And
I know.
That's a sensitive subject.
Oh, so I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I was just giving her shit. I'm sorry.
But I sat there and reached out to Katie earlier tonight, actually, to sit there and give her positive vibes. At least I hope so.
Thank you, Barrett.
I gave her positive vibes on taking what I thought was an actually very good store to take over.
Oh, she rocks. It
is very far away from her home, but she was able to work that into hopefully a raise. I don't know.
Hey,
that's up to her.
Go. You do.
Hopefully that worked out a raise on her part and all that stuff. But Tino, what do you think? What do you think about maybe? Because we can get there in 20 minutes.
Well, not tonight, man.
Not tonight.
Okay.
No. She's obviously not there now.
She might be.
Well, she might be. She might be. Hopefully she's not. Katie, hopefully you're on your way home, or at home at this point. But seriously, what do you think about the idea of riding out to Katie's store and saying, "Hey, what?"
She said, "What are we talking about?" I was saying that
we're talking about setting up at your store to do our show live one night.
But I was saying that I missed you, and I bought Battlefield 2042, and I'm pissed it doesn't have a campaign, and I wanted to take it back, but Rob said I couldn't because it was already open, and I had to open it to realize something. See, You're damn right. I sure will. I still got the receipt. I think I bought that shit Friday. We will go to her store. We will go.
Katie, will your other employees allow a return on it? Is the question.
I'm gonna wait
Definitely
for
not
Katie.
on purpose.
I'm gonna wait for Katie. See,
Katie knows that. Like, if she doesn't know, she should know that she is like our favorite.
I miss Katie. Yeah.
She used to be on all the time.
Last one, she's got other stuff.
That she obviously does. She's got her Twitch channel.
And then last time,
Katie, go ahead and in the chat, go ahead and place your Twitch channel so that we can plug it for you.
But last time she met you guys out at Ruckus, I couldn't go because I forget why I couldn't go. And I was like,
she was mad.
She was.
I can show you the text message. She was mad.
Katie, were you mad? Katie, were you mad at me?
She was like, if you really did care, you would have made it out.
Katie.
And what makes me laugh about all that stuff is that, like,
oh my God,
I was furious. And this is like when you were like, she was so mad at you because of blah blah. She still came out to hang out with me, but like you couldn't make it. And so all right. I don't want to make this one of those things. Okay. I want to talk about what's going on because you talked about like what's up with you.
I don't want Katie mad at me.
Well, yeah, but you had like this racial like whole thing going on at your local church.
She said she's inappropriate on Twitch. She don't want to give her Twitch.
Katie, it's absolutely okay to give out your Twitch account because we're trying to get you more followers on there.
Have you seen this show? I'm inappropriate on this show.
And I'll say right now, we're fucking inappropriate.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking inappropriate.
Yeah, she missed the whole thing earlier, so yeah, it was
the whole thing.
Yeah.
What is this?
I was like, easy, big fella.
Oh, whoa. Yeah,
no, not you, just me.
What? No, he's not talking about you. It's okay. Have you watched Ruthless Aggression 2 yet?
No, I haven't. I need to check that out.
It's good.
All right.
It's good. It's narrated by Pat McAfee now. So you know it's good, right?
All right, let's get going.
I'm
sorry that I made you furious, Katie.
Katie, we miss you.
Next time, I promise, no matter what I'm doing, I'll drop it whenever you come back.
What are you going to drop?
Whatever. So she won't be mad at me anymore.
Michael, if there's anybody in this chat that is not inappropriate, it's you. Michael hasn't been inappropriate
Not yet. No. He's still new.
Yeah. What? No. He's been here since the beginning. But no, I didn't do this yet.
You did the first 45 minutes.
But I did not do this.
God bless America. You can let me do this, bitch.
Hey, so Tino, I want to point out. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let me know. Yes, Chris, you are the most inappropriate. Go for it.
Chris actually is the most inappropriate. Yes, he is.
More than me.
So,
I
know that Junior High Horrors,
yes,
Karate Kai, is coming out in January.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is now like you have to go to your local comic shop to order it right now.
I want my shit ordered on Amazon 6 months ago.
As soon as...
That shit was 6 months ago. I ordered that shit back in May. And you rolled my ass. I said, okay, and I ordered it, and I still ain't got it.
Do you really want to bring this up now?
No.
Like, do you know how much that hurts my feelings?
I'm just teasing you, man.
No, man, it hurts.
Okay, well, don't hurt. What did I miss? Not a whole lot.
To Love It to Death is Tony.
I met him.
What's up, Tony?
I met him at
You did. No, seriously, man. Like nobody is as upset by the fact that the book is not out yet as me.
I know.
That book was supposed to be out in July. And because of COVID and because of shortages on paper, because of shortages on shipping.
What did she say below me about?
She said, oh, Bologna.
About what, though?
Probably because we're sitting here talking about my book not coming out yet.
Yeah.
But Tino, please. Everybody else brings it up to me. You know that. It hurts me. I hate the fact that Junior High Horrors Volume 1 is not out yet. It truly does upset me. Like I do you know how many copies I ordered?
Let's see, this is the show. This is my job to bust your balls on this show.
1,000 copies.
Why would you order 1,000 copies of your own fucking book?
So then I could take them to other shows
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
be able to sell them. But if anyone is upset about the amount of copies or getting their book, or like, I can't help that because right now there is a mandate on how many pages could actually be printed at one time in a book. And unfortunately, that means that the 160-page Junior High Horrors Volume 1 has to wait. And if there is one person that is crushed by that, it's me. However, because we're talking about what's up with me,
What's up with you?
I have now lettered the first 10 pages of Junior High Horrors Karate Kai.
Nice.
And by the end of probably Friday,
okay,
the rest of the book will be into the publisher.
Okay.
So it is ready to go.
Sweet.
And will be out on time in January.
You think so?
Hopefully. Unfortunately, all I can say to that is this, is that we're going to get it in ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it is supposed to be out on time.
Okay.
Right? And then I want to also point out that when it comes to Junior High Horrors, I've also started writing the next book already.
Nice.
So it is about a quarter of the way through. So we're good on that. And in February, so orderable starting first week of December, the Mangolorian.
That one.
Oh,
you can't show that cover.
Oh, well, hold on. You know what I can show, Tino. Because our friends like Katie can't wait. The Mangolorian. There's that cover up enough of it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is orderable.
They just.
Okay, well maybe they saw a little bit extra. Maybe they did.
They did. I did just then.
But their local comic shops will be able to start ordering that starting December 1st.
Maybe we can show her off air or something.
Katie messaged me after the show. Well, I'll show you. Chris Bear says, "Move the hand."
When that cover does come out, that's going to be hot though.
But I also want to go ahead and say something else, Tino.
Okay.
And this is something that has not been talked about a lot. The artist that I originally signed up for Immortal,
mm-hmm.
the second set of books for that.
Right.
Just this week, he sent me 2 different pieces of art, right? And his name's Rob Nikolakakis.
I thought your name was hard.
Yeah, Rob Potchak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Nikolakakis out of Canada. And he messages me, just randomly sends me 2 pieces of art, right? And they're 2 pieces of Immortal art.
Oh.
So I see them, and this is kind of a big deal to me because like we've been working on this since he drew X Liefelds for me, and he's gone through some tough times both with COVID and in Canada.
I remember you telling me that,
He's gone through some rough times with his job situation and everything else, but he sent me 2 pieces of art this week, and then he wrote, what do you think of this? Right? So I sent a message back. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, gorgeous. Because dude's artwork is amazing.
Right.
All right. And then the next thing I write back is, are you starting to get the itch? And he goes, yeah, I think I'm starting to get the itch.
Nice.
And then he sent me another piece of art.
I want to see arty art. That's all I want to see.
Well, Artie's going to be a different thing, but I've already written like 4 Immortal books that he's going to start drawing.
Oh, damn.
And now he's saying, yeah, I got the itch.
Okay.
And everything I've written has been catered to his art style. Because that's what when you're really trying to work with different artists from different writers or whatever.
How do you? And I guess because I'm not. How do
Sure,
you,
go
how do
ahead,
you
ask.
cater to someone's art style?
So you start asking what they want to draw.
Okay.
Right? Oh, I want to draw like these types of like explosive situations and different things like that. And specifically like we started talking about, because I told him, so if I gave y'all the money for
Can
it,
you get me a signed picture from Sonny and Francine at WrestleCade?
was that Chris Barrett?
Yes.
We didn't even talk about WrestleCade. Yes, I'll be at WrestleCade on Saturday with Jason. I can't say whether or not I'm gonna get anything signed or whatever. Tino and I are gonna talk off camera about like what we try to get in terms of
Sound bites
and YouTube bites, but otherwise can't really say anything about that Chris Barrett. Sorry.
All right, let's roll.
Well, what
Okay.
I was still saying that like we're trying to move Immortal along so that it actually launches in 2022. But as of right now, I can confirm that Junior High Horrors Karate Kai,
I'm excited about that.
which is scheduled for January, will be out in January. If it's not, it'll be out in early February just because of lateness of books or whatever.
Right.
But the Mangolorian will also be out on
In
time
January? Oh,
in February.
okay.
He wanted to see the reaction. All right. So, Tino.
Do you have one? A funny one? Last week wasn't funny. You just talked about.
No, last week was funny. It was the week before that wasn't funny. But I got to tell you.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Thanks for leading to that. No, I think this week, instead of actually giving a story about like GameStop, I think that what I should do is give thanks because it's Thanksgiving week.
Okay. All right.
To those at GameStop that are having to work Thanksgiving night. Is that fair?
Yeah, that one of those.
Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair. That's very fair.
So our friend Katie,
Mm-hmm.
our friend Tony, any of the other GameStop managers out there, the fact is that like no other major retailer decided to do this year. They all looked at it and said it's easier to spread out the sales over the week of Sunday through Thursday rather than have everybody come in on Thursday for 4 or 5 hours, whatever the fuck it is, right?
Oh, 3. Uh-oh. You're very welcome.
And And Tino, you know, Tony, let me go ahead and say on Thursday at 10 o'clock at night, I will probably be over there too.
Really?
Dude, by that point, I'm going to be tired of my family.
You can, Katie.
However, Katie, find out whether or not the what's it called? Texas Roadhouse is actually open that night. Because if Texas Roadhouse is open that night, I'll come visit you rather than come visit Tony. For the first time ever. Either way, let me put it this way. Two of my favorite people are in this chat right now.
Oh my God.
And Tony and I have actually been contemplating something that I told you I would consider doing as a secondary show to the Potsy and Tino show. As long as I didn't necessarily have to negatively impact the way that people feel about GameStop. So Tony and I are talking about doing a weekly show where we discuss what's going on in GameStop.
You're not there anymore.
You're right, but he is.
Okay.
And I told him I don't want to negatively affect his job position with the company. So can't really say whether or not it's something that's going to happen, going to go across or anything else, but it is something that has been discussed. And I don't know what Tony's unsmiley face.
I think he's still coming back. He's going to die.
Very possible.
All right.
But again, want to point out two of my favorite people, Tony, Katie, two of my favorite stores.
Well, you said, what about Michael? Michael was one of your favorite. You had a whole lot of favorite people.
Is that wrong?
Earlier, you said Michael was one of them. Now they're more.
Am I not allowed to have a lot of favorite people?
No.
You're fucked up. This guy obviously doesn't know how to work a crowd.
Dude, they have a musician for over 25
and,
years.
And
I know
he
how to
sits
work
there
a
and says,
crowd.
don't touch that. Seriously though.
Man, it's more than that. That's over 30 years.
No, but seriously though. And
oh, you did it now.
I give up. Tonight, I'm going to say right now on air that I did everything I could to positively influence Katie at her new store and try to give.
You did say that, Robbie, but Michael.
I did say that about Michael. I love Michael.
Katie's laughing at you.
Michael buys all my books. But seriously, just God damn it.
You see, Rob, you can have multiple favorites. You just can't say it in front of all of them.
I can't help that they're all here at the same time. This is one of our biggest crowds we've had in a while, too. That's what's funny.
Yeah, until we start talking about wrestling.
And then everybody drops right off.
No, Katie, be like, I'm out.
And that's why I'm trying to drag it out.
But I got to drive 45 minutes home.
We'll get there. We'll get that. I'll tell you what.
Been flirting the ruckus, we could have started on time.
I'll tell you, I wasn't flirting. Trust me. I was trying to, like drive home my team respect.
He said facts.
Facts. With Tony says that, and I'll tell you why. Tony says that because I was like, Tony, what's it mean when you say facts?
It means true.
Well, it doesn't just mean that. It means like you have to.
Yeah.
Be like spilling on her.
Katie's like you're right. Which when I said she's leaving.
So I'll tell you what. Because you're saying that I can't have two favorites. You're going to go visit Tony after he gets off on Thanksgiving night in Morrisville. Because you
didn't tell me when I'm going to.
Because you
I wish the hell you would, because you know I'll get you back and you ain't gonna like it. Hit me, you want to. Go ahead. I'm gonna tell you like murder grandpa. Go ahead. But no, I'm gonna get you back. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you a free shot. Oh, but no, it's gonna be murder grandpa.
You guys don't want to see this.
You know it's gonna be murder grandpa.
It won't be murder grandpa.
Every time
I've taken one of yours before,
and you almost cry.
Yeah, but you will cry.
I will.
Anyways, so you'll go visit Tony, and I'll go visit Katie. That way, we both get to visit two of our favorite GameStop people.
I don't know Tony. I know.
You
Katie.
know Tony.
I met Tony once. I know Katie, and Katie's still furious.
You want to drive the 60 minutes to get there from your place?
Katie won't be mad at me anymore. She said, "I'll be back in a minute. Going to work while I'm gone, so I can hear you guys." I don't. She's going to work.
She's probably going on Twitch or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, last thing I'll say is that Tony owes me money.
Is he still one of your favorite people?
He owes me money.
Oh, damn.
Tony, you know you owe me money.
I want my $2. I don't think I owe you $113. I think it was $111.
I
want my
$2. You actually owe me $113, motherfucker.
I just gave you $113, bitch. I don't know you.
When did you give me?
When I came in and tried to give you $111.
He did give me the money.
You drunk bitch. You forgot that quick. It was like an hour ago.
No, I didn't forget that quick. I was just hoping you give me it twice.
I knew that was going to happen. Told you I had to go in the stash. You
don't even want me to talk about the stash, because what if Nicole actually?
Talk about the stash. Yes.
All right, we good?
Yeah, I think so. We're like an hour in, and
So what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
God damn it! I'm probably still at your house doing this fucking show.
He's not gonna be allowed home.
No, it's just taking forever.
Go ahead. Like, dude, wrestling's not gonna take very long. Barrett, check your email. You've been released from the company. Oh, Drew, you are the best, sir.
I give you that one.
So from the WWE faithful, you have won our hearts, sir.
That was fucked up.
That was good.
That was a good one though.
That was good.
We got normal stuff. I got family coming over. Let's see, my mom's coming. Nicole's dad and her brother, then her aunt and her two cousins from Mooresville up near Charlotte.
Moores, not Morris.
Not Morris. I gotta make sure I say Moores.
Moores.
And then who else? Of course, Haley and Matthew will be there. And my buddy John.
No, I hate the light. Here, turn the light off.
Dude, can we?
Oh, it doesn't do it.
Nope.
Almost. Bill Murray. Anyways.
So what are you doing?
Did you see the Bill Murray?
Yeah, I saw that. So anyway, your Thanksgiving.
My family is getting together at 2:00 on Thursday. I will probably go over there around noon so that I can help set up the furniture and everything else, because if I didn't, I'd probably get disowned. You know how it is with my sister. No, I actually said, hey, if I can be over there early, I'll go ahead and help out where I can. So the plan is to help out where I can. Turn the brightness. We turned the brightness off.
I think you've been on your.
Yeah, it's too late now. But anyways, go check out my TikTok, Rob Potsy Potchak. You can see the Bill Murray drawing on there. But yeah, like we've past couple of years, we've stopped making the turkey and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Brian actually posted that he was getting his turkey from Popeyes this year. I didn't even know Popeyes did
Popeyes,
turkey. Like Popeyes fast food, like Louisiana fast. and that looked amazing. That man said 2 p.m. I don't even. Is that a word?
Us melanated folk. Time is whenever the food is ready. So I'm thinking he's trying to say black people. Melanated.
It didn't look like an actual word to me.
Melanated.
I didn't think.
Yeah.
I've heard of melatonin.
Melatonin helps you sleep. And
yes.
This podcast. No, he's trying to be one of the family favorites for Thanksgiving. Oh.
Who, me? No.
Yeah, you.
No.
Popeye's Cajun turkey apparently.
Apparently it's a real thing, and dude, it looks good.
No.
So, but we're getting ours this year. Like the family has now started catering out, and we get ours from Bob Evans.
Bob Evans does turkey?
Dude, 2 years ago
Really?
when we got Bob Evans, it wasn't just turkey. It's like turkey, all the fixins. Like they give you like 6 different fixins.
So whether you like the stuffing, mashed potatoes,
like,
and all that stuff?
Like whichever ones you choose.
Okay.
And then on top of all of that, it's like they tell you when to pick it up. You come, you get it, you pick it up. They tell you how long to cook it.
Oh, so they don't cook it?
No, it's cooked, but
Yeah,
it's like
heat it up.
now it's just to reheat it.
Do you get desserts there too?
Oh yeah.
What do you get?
So you get like an apple pie, a pumpkin pie. Dude,
Sweet potato.
So and then you get like a chocolate peanut butter pie.
Nicole would like that. She likes chocolate peanut butter.
So I'm gonna tell you though, like it's funny because I kept thinking, man, I don't like pumpkin pie. Like I don't want to try the pumpkin. So I was one of the chocolate pie, right? Like chocolate pie. And then all of a sudden, like I started drinking pumpkin beer, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try the pumpkin pie. Fuck, pumpkin pie's good, dude. It's good. Like I'm like, who the fuck came up with it? Like this shit is amazing.
I get pissed off when I go somewhere and not realizing, and I think it's sweet potato pie and it's pumpkin pie. That just pisses me off. I spit the shit out, and I'm like, I don't want this shit.
Now I like sweet potatoes as well, but I actually like. So I don't know what it was. I'm in my 40s now, and then like all the way up to like 35 years old, I had never had a sweet potato.
What the hell is wrong with you?
So I don't know if it was because and like here we are not even getting to wrestling, right?
No, yeah.
But now you're interested in the conversation.
Thank you, sir.
Sweet potatoes all day, but Whole Foods has a pumpkin mousse. Oh, geez, that sounds amazing. Because I'm sure it's like super smooth.
Mm.
But anyway,
All right.
I'm sitting there like all of a sudden I'm eating a sweet potato for the first time. I'm like, why the fuck have I never had a sweet potato? Turns out, so my family, my dad was the bread earner, right? And growing up, sweet potatoes were expensive.
Mm.
Sweet potatoes aren't that expensive anymore. So like, because they were so expensive, we never got sweet potatoes. So we just got a potato every so often. And my mom would sit there and make baked potatoes to go with whatever type of steak we were eating or whatever type of like. I mean, it could be a ham, could be a roast, could be whatever. But we were getting a potato.
Right.
And one day I'm sitting there at like 30 something years old, and I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, why didn't we ever get sweet potatoes? She goes, because I didn't like them. And then I said, well, have you had one? And she goes, no. The fuck? And you know, back in the day, like your parents or whatever, it was like if they put it in front of you, you had to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the way it is.
That's what I do my kids.
Exactly, right? So all of a sudden my mom, and turns out because my mom wasn't from a family that actually had money, they never got sweet potatoes.
So she didn't know
she didn't know she didn't like it. Now she's sitting there like, yeah, I like sweet potatoes. And it's like, damn it, like I would have loved knowing that I like sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. Like if I go out to a place like Texas Roadhouse, right, which is a pretty inexpensive steakhouse, and some people make fun of it, some people hate it, some people love it, whatever. I truly enjoy it because it's like you go there for like $12 and you get an all right steak.
Oh, I love Texas Roadhouse.
And have they ever cooked your steak wrong?
Nope.
Nope. You sit there, and well, I don't know. How do you get your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
All right, perfect. All right. Tino and I are back on good terms here. Because if he had sat there and said medium well or well done, I'd have kicked him out of the house right now.
Why? Because I used to eat it, then I got Nicole, and she trained me.
But now you know how to eat a steak.
I know how to eat a steak.
No, now you know how to eat a steak.
I know.
Before you knew how to eat a hockey puck. Brown sugar, cinnamon butter, and pecans. Absolutely.
Sweet potato casserole. That's what we're having for Thanksgiving.
It doesn't even have to be a casserole. That's how I want my sweet potato.
Yeah.
And then just add some real regular butter to it and maybe a little bit of salt. Just
salt.
You always add a little bit of salt.
You put raisins in your potato salad.
Fuck no. Wait, what?
Salt is not a season. A. B. You don't need salt on everything. That salt, that's good right there.
My heart tells me I need salt on everything, Tino.
No, your heart told you don't need salt.
I love this, man.
That's what the fuck happened to your heart to begin with. Your heart's fuck salt.
Why you got so much salt on shit? That's what my heart originally said.
All right, she's back. Guess what, Katie?
No, don't go away, Katie. We love you here. We love you at the show.
Tony.
I clicked the wrong button. Like I went to click the I'm back, and all of a sudden it was just on the next one.
Yeah.
No salt on anything.
She said, "What the fuck?" That was Tony. I don't know where the hell that came from.
You know what store to call about that. Hey, by the way, I want to go ahead.
Are we ever going to talk about wrestling?
We will. Have you tried this?
Done soon.
Have you tried this?
Yes, I didn't like it.
So, have you guys tried? Oh God! Yeah, turn that light off. Have you guys tried the Yingling Hershey's Porter? The reason why I ask is because Hershey's and Yingling are like 40 miles away from each other in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And Yingling obviously has been known as the oldest American brewery, and Hershey's has been known as the no, I like my street.
Anyway.
But Hershey's is known as the oldest chocolate maker, right?
Mm.
So the fact is that they're like 40 miles away from each other. So last year, they actually decided to make a porter that is a chocolate porter. And what I can say about it is pretty much when you smell it, it smells like a Hershey's chocolate bar. When you drink it, it kind of like the best way to describe it is like if you were drinking something that tastes like an actual like Hershey's syrup, right?
Right.
No, I drink Budweiser like normal. Chris Barrett, what is up with you, man? We love you, but come on.
He'd like porters, so he would try it.
So Tony, I'm going to tell you, like a 12-pack is like $14, and it is one of my favorite beers for as inexpensive as it is.
I'm not putting that up. How about putting that up? That's close.
Oh, you can go ahead and put that Budweiser's for people that wear trucker hats. That's fine. We're not drinking Budweiser.
I used to drink Bud Light. And now that what's your go-to, Katie?
Her go-to is Red Hook? Red Oak? Red Oak.
Mine is Corona.
No, yours used to be something else a long time
Bud
ago.
Light.
Rolling Rock.
Yeah, you see that? You know why? You know why?
Because you were sponsored.
by Rolling Rock. And I took all the fucking Rolling Rock I wanted for free everywhere I went.
Like we drank a lot of Rolling Rock back in the day, and I wasn't even part of the band.
God, we had so much Rolling Rock. Because that's the only beer we could drink on stage. And so since we were sponsored, we had swag. So
It wasn't even a good beer.
it was good when it was free.
Well, I mean, it's a good free beer, yeah.
Red Stripe.
Oh, I love Red Stripe.
No, that's Katie's drink. Was it Red Stripe? Or...
No, hers is Red Oak.
Oh, he said Red Stripe. She said yep.
No, Red Stripe is the Jamaican beer.
Red Stripe question
Well,
marks. She said yep.
How would Chris Barrett know?
Katie, are you saying yep to Red Stripe?
Oh, she's saying yep to Red Oak. Hershey had a deal to make chocolate porter with Victory, small brewery in the area, and Yingling screwed them over. Yeah, I believe that. But I got to tell you, Drew, and you know I love you, but I really like this beer. Like,
oh, you're right. She said Red Oak.
Like, and it always makes me laugh that it has to have that where it actually, so for those, you gotta turn the light off. It actually says that it needs to have a 21 plus label on it
To enjoy.
to enjoy
Oh,
it
because it says Hershey's on it.
because it says Hershey's.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
All right.
see, she said Red Oak.
Okay, yeah, yay.
All right,
Finally.
Tino,
Because we're going to stop the ship at 10 o'clock. We got 30 minutes.
you ready to do it?
Yeah, we got 30 minutes to run the road.
All right, folks. Anybody that doesn't want to watch about pro wrestling, go ahead and log out. We would love for you to stay. But Tino wants to go ahead and talk about NXT 2.0.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if anything worthwhile happened on NXT. Steiner, what does he call himself? Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker.
He came out once again trying to challenge Tommaso Ciampa to the title, and Ciampa's like, no. I think the funniest part about the whole show, though, was at the beginning of the show when you had, who was it? What's the name of that team? The Grizzled Young Veterans, and they're on the phone with the grandmother and trying to con the grandma out of money and saying they were tag team champions, but they had the women tag team belts. So they were FaceTime like, see, we're champions. And then they got the phone and said, we got to get these belts back to Toxin Up. And I'm like, so yeah, it was awesome.
Not much in
Not
in,
much. Yeah, not much.
in that one.
So
So
Kyle O'Reilly came up and kind of into the dude's the forehead said, so you on SmackDown Friday. That's the first thing he said. So you on SmackDown Friday. What do you he asked me, so what do you his private security? I was like, oh, they mentioned it. They actually
acknowledged the
that it
two
was
different
another
programs.
show.
Yeah. So that's Vaughn. I want to say Vaughn Breaker, but it's Braun Breaker. Like, is Vaughn?
Love you too, Kate. See you
Vaughn,
later.
what's his name?
Von Wagner.
Von Wagner. Just a terrible name.
Yeah.
Dogface Gremlin Jr. Nice. All right. So then we went to AEW Dynamite. You remember anything that happened on that?
I remember that they came. Young Bucks came out and said that he was hurt. The one of them was hurt. He couldn't wrestle anymore. And they challenged. They kept calling himself Jungle Boy. So you think you're Jungle Man now? They keep calling him Jungle.
I love it. I love Jungle Man.
And so they challenged him to a match on Rampage Friday, Jurassic Express.
So this was the first episode after the pay-per-view that happened. So they started the entire show with this great moment of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole.
Oh,
And Kenny Omega sits there and starts the whole thing with, I need to make sure that while I'm gone, you guys take care of everything. And Adam Cole's like, I got this. Don't worry. We got this. I'll take care of it. And he goes, yeah, that's great. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Bucks. And
foreshadowing.
And of course, Adam Cole sits there and he's like, oh, no. You're right, Kenny. I got it. You would have. So I'm wondering because Kenny Omega is going to go out for multiple surgeries to get cleaned up, get the shoulders taken care of, do all that stuff. I'm wondering if what it really means is that by the time he comes back,
Rushmore.
Well, I don't even want to say that. What I want to say is this: is that the same group that is currently there will be at the top of their game, and when Kenny Omega comes back, they sit there and go, what makes you think that you deserve to be here at this point? Like we've been keeping this together. You're not with us anymore.
Well, I think also too, I think they're going to welcome. I'm almost think it's almost a face turn for them because they came out there at the pay-per-view when he was in a match with Omega and they did not interfere. And when Hangman won the match, they kind of went.
Well, there's the possibility that they re-welcome Hangman back in and say that it was because of Kenny that he was out.
Yeah.
Right. So there's always that possibility too, but overall, I think that the real plan is we saw it. I wasn't talking to you, Adam Cole. I was talking to the Bucks because.
So you say when when Kenny comes back, because I don't see them turning Cole face. So you think Kenny comes back as a face against the heel elite with the Hangman with Cole?
So it's tough. And for those watching, it's tough because you would think that the Bucks accepting Hangman as the champion is a
face turn,
baby face turn, right? You would also think that would lead to Adam Cole being with the Bucks being a baby face turn.
Which might again, and I keep saying Rushmore, so because I think that if we think it happens what we think is going to happen, Kevin Steen's going to come in as a face. So if he joins up,
let's not even talk about him yet because we don't want to build up to it until we're ready to build up to it. Because truth is, I already said, and I'm putting it out there for the people that are watching the show right now. Kevin Steen shows up. Kevin Steen is the mystery opponent in the Owen Cup. Because they announced the Owen Cup and they haven't announced anything else about it.
Two more things that interest me about the show.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
Danielson heel turn?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Our Facebook group. I sat there immediately after watching the Danielson stuff and I said, fucker turned heel. Everybody in our group is sitting there going, no. Just because he turned heel in Virginia doesn't mean he's heel.
But then it makes me go back to, and you did say this before the pay-per-view, whoever won that tournament would predict who won the championship. Now, when Danielson won, he was a face, and of course, we know Heyman's a face, so it does make sense. They're not going to have face against face.
One of them's got to turn heel,
and
right?
I think Danielson will be a better heel.
And you're absolutely right. I think so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say for the group.
See.
He's absolutely
right. He's absolutely
Drew,
right.
You and I.
On the head. He nailed it.
Drew and I are 100% on the same path here. And here's what I tried to say. He came out. He sat there and he gave his great job winning. But I was really hoping it'd be me and Kenny out here right now. right? Heel number one. Heel number two was when he sat there and said, I'm not going to face you tonight because I don't want you to have an excuse, because all you've ever had is excuses.
Number two.
Heel number three was him sitting there saying, I'm now going to take on a different member of the Dark Order. And number 4, 5, and on is, I'm going to continue to take on members of the Dark Order until Hangman's ready.
He tried to stomp Evil Uno's face.
So Bryan Danielson's signature move right now is when he grabs the two hands and he stomps your face into the ground, because you know that if the tables were turned, he is not able to take that move.
Nope.
And it's because, like, medically, he is not able to take that move. So when you see him doing that to other people, and you know that he can't get it reciprocated, you know that he is literally going out of his way to do something that they cannot do to him, and he is beating the shit out of them.
Yep.
And on top of that, when he had the match in tow, when you knew that he was going to win the match, did he just pin him? Did he just put him in a submission hold?
Nope.
Did he kick the shit out of the guy and then put him in a submission? So all of these people that are like, no, he's not really heel. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, literally, man. Like, I can't. He turned
Heel.
straight
Heel.
Now, is it your typical heel where it's, I am better than everybody else?
No.
Maybe, because it's, am I better than everybody else at wrestling? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
Is it, I am an asshole who does? No, it is not. Is it any of the typical style heels that you typically see one of these guys do? And the answer is no. And the reason why is because when you look at Bryan Danielson is not the biggest guy.
Nope.
He's not the tallest guy. He's not the strongest guy. He's not any of those guys. But what he is, legitimately, is the best physical professional wrestler in the world. And his whole point was, I'm not going to make you wrestle when you're not ready, but I'm going to beat the shit out of all of your friends.
Colt Cabana next week.
Until you are.
In Chicago.
And like, if that doesn't turn you heel in today's world, the fuck does? Like, you saw the group sit there and go against me on it, and it's like, are you guys stupid? Sorry, I broke my desk. But are you stupid? And I love the people in our group. But don't ever try to tell me when somebody isn't turning heel, when they're obviously turning. Like Bryan Danielson is probably gonna lose to Hangman Page, and he's probably gonna beat Sammy Guevara for the TNT title instead.
Which leads me to my second favorite part of the night.
Sure.
Is when the other top babyface in one of the four pillars, Mr. MJF, was in the middle of the ring bragging how he beat dude with a half face Darby, how he beat Darby with a
Dabby
with the side headlock, and how he beat them and nobody else in the locker room could beat him. Then all of a sudden you're shh. Look in my eyes. Now look in my eyes. In my opinion, they did this perfectly. CM Punk walked down. No. CM Punk
Go
walked
ahead.
down to the ring. MJF tried to do the whole smarmy. Oh yeah, you're great. CM Punk just looked at him and walked away smirking. That's what he should. They need to build it up. He doesn't need to say anything. They need to slow burn this.
So I agree with that. I do have an issue with how they did it.
What's your issue? Of course you do.
What do you mean? Of course I do. I didn't have an issue with the Daniel Bryan thing.
Okay.
My issue is this. We know that CM Punk is great on the mic, right? We know that he's got great entrance music.
Mhm.
So why the fuck do you have his entrance music hit so he can walk all the way down to the ring, stand there and go, and that's it?
Can I ask you something? Seriously. You weren't saying that bullshit when the Undertaker would walk down in the ring, wouldn't say shit to anybody, just stand there, look at you, and especially WrestleMania season. Look at the sign.
Hold on.
Look at you, walk away. He didn't say shit either.
Hold on. Who would be the first person to walk away?
Undertaker.
No. You're full of shit.
Undertaker would sometimes be the first person to walk.
No, the person that would walk away in that moment would be the guy that when the Undertaker stared him down, they would be scared as shit and they would back out and go out the other side of the ring. And that's what I'm saying. Here's the problem. And this is the way to correct that. You have CM Punk music hit. You have him come down to the ring. You have him take the microphone. You have him get ready to say something. And then you have MJF's music hit. MJF walks all the way down to the ring. MJF is talking the entire way down to the ring. He gets into the ring. He sits there and goes, "That is very nice to meet you, Maxwell." Puts the hand out. And CM Punk goes and walks out the ring. It's a better scene.
Okay.
You can say what you want. Fact is that like having a guy who is known for being able to speak on the microphone. Punk shows up, the crowd goes wild. Potsy hates it. No, I love Drew. I love CM Punk. In fact, he's the first shirt that I've bought for pro wrestling since AEW started. I bought the ringer. I'm gonna wear it. I have. In fact, I wore it one of the nights here. You saw me. He might not believe it. He might not remember. He's old. But the fact is that literally that's like having CM Punk walk down to the ring, do nothing, look at them, and then walk out of the ring. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
It's the same thing that you said, but okay.
It's not the same thing.
All right. Anything else on Dynamite?
I don't know. Anybody else want us to talk about anything else, Dynamite?
No.
What's Drew doing?
He's laughing at your drunk ass. All right. So
I'm not drunk.
So do we want to do this? Because that is going to run into the damn pay-per-view. We might as well, because we still got a pay-per-view to talk about.
Let's do it.
And it's damn 9:45.
Let's do it.
That's not really.
Well, should we talk about Rampage first? Yeah. Was there anything to watch on Rampage? I don't even remember.
Just the Red Velvet and Jade match, which Jade whooped her ass. And then the only thing is the Jurassic Express against it was Adam Cole and Bobby Fish. And they left Bobby Fish. Did you watch it?
They left him belly up, right?
They just left him. They did not try to go back and help him at all. So I don't know how long that alliance is going to last now.
I think that alliance is still going to last longer than everybody thinks, only because I have a feeling that as we get closer to other people coming to AEW, it's going to create calamity.
I think that's why they're moving Forehead to SmackDown because they know Kyle is up. Gotcha.
A little bit. He did. Oh, and let's not talk about, let's not forget, Billy Gunn looking better than the entire Drew Manchu. Thank you, sir.
Who did he wrestle?
Darby.
Darby.
It was the Gun Club versus Darby and Sting outside, and I'm gonna tell you, watching Billy Gunn sit there and stare at Sting and point the finger at him the whole time, I'm sitting there going, this is already better than that moment at WrestleMania where it was Triple H versus Sting.
Yeah.
And they had the NWO
and
DX come out. And this literally is better than it because Billy Gunn is like pointing at him and you're like, that dude could beat the shit out of Sting.
Yeah.
Like Billy Gunn is 58 years old or whatever he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's that old.
Who wants to look it up?
I'll look it up.
I'm going to say that Billy Gunn is 58 years old. 56? 56?
Start that.
All right. Survivor Series. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Here's the deal. Survivor Series started with the right match coming out the gate. Go ahead.
On the fucking nose.
God damn, that's right.
On the fucking
58
nose.
years old.
Damn.
Motherfucker.
All right.
Woo!
You don't need to say GD.
Sorry, I can't help it. So here's the deal. I already nailed Billy Gunn's age. But on top of that, Charlotte and Becky Lynch, I'm going to tell you, I was not going to watch Survivor Series at all. I wasn't going to watch it because I didn't really feel invested. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it just for the Charlotte Becky stuff, right? And there were some stiff shots. Like the two of them between each other, like I couldn't tell
if they were still planning on it. If it was work or work shoot.
It was all a work, but I couldn't tell which parts of the match were as shooty as possible, right? Match of the night in the pay-per-view. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, Michael. I agree with that. What did Drew say about it?
He didn't.
What did Drew say? Because he said something at the bottom.
4 years younger than Sting,
and that old bum can barely walk. Yeah. There's some stuff about Sting that worries me about him. But the whole thing, like the Becky Charlotte match, when it ended, I was like, is that how it was supposed to end? Because it was a roll-up, but it was a roll-up after
a roll-up.
And it kind of felt like, and if you're gonna do the screw job, you do it at Survivor Series, right? You do it at Survivor. Like, so should it have been a figure eight that Becky turned over? Should it have been
well, they'd already put each other's finishing moves because Charlotte did this armor.
I know.
Becky did the figure four, and they started slapping each other, calling each other bitch while they were in the figure four.
I know, but we already know that at the pay-per-view, Vince McMahon showed up, right? So with Vince McMahon being there, should Vince McMahon walk out and go, ring the damn bell?
No, because he already screwed everybody because not one SmackDown team won. I think the only thing they had was one motherfucking Shinsuke won by disqualification.
Hey, still won.
Okay.
Terrible.
They buried SmackDown.
I was actually very impressed by the male elimination match.
Okay.
Thought that was fun. I was actually very impressed by the women's elimination match. Yep. Although as noticed by Monday night's Becky's statement, nobody else was. The entire crowd was sitting there, doing it. No. We don't even have to, because there was nothing to care about on
No,
Raw.
we were talking about Raw. Yeah, there was. There's a couple things on Raw I want to talk about.
All right, Tino wants to talk about Raw.
No, we got to finish the pay-per-view.
The match versus Becky and Charlotte was great.
I take that back. The Roman, that SmackDown didn't go over Raw. I take that back. They had one.
They did.
SmackDown.
And then when we talk about that, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who sat there and created like the placement for the match for Roman versus E, but E showed up, but I was disappointed he lost. Like, if there was a moment for Roman to lose and not lose face, it was this. And the thing that pisses me off about this is I feel like I say this every goddamn pay-per-view from it. I feel like, and sorry again about the GD. I really truly feel that every time we talk about Roman in a big time match, it's the time for Roman to lose, and for some reason he doesn't. And it doesn't make me feel like this is a good situation going forward.
Okay.
But at the same time, did I like Riddle and Orton going over? Yes. Did I like Bianca coming all the way back from 4-1 down and winning? Yes. Did I like Kevin Owens sitting there saying, let me start the match, and then walking right out and walking all the way down and being like, you guys want me to be the asshole? I'm going to be the asshole. That's what I'm good at. And I loved it. I loved it. You know what I didn't love? I didn't love the fact that Mr. McMahon got out of a fucking car and there were a bunch of people going, yes, the egg, the egg, the egg.
Have you seen Red Notice?
I have.
I watched it too. I just want to make sure. I just want to see.
But why the fuck are people that still have a job after all these other layoffs sitting there yelling, the egg?
I want to know why. It was 25 years. They did all those clips and The Rock didn't show up. I said, okay, maybe Monday night. Well, I mean, he's filming a movie, and that's why they said out of the country. That's why he said he couldn't. That's why he wasn't there. But
why would you run so? And you're absolutely right. Why would you run so much shit that says The Rock's 25th anniversary?
Because they want people
and not have at least
a cameo.
This is a guy who, even if it isn't live,
via satellite,
he has done things where it's like The Rock sitting there going, Umaga versus Bobby Lashley. Do you even know what Umaga means? Umaga means shriveled up monkey penis. And yet we don't get that. We literally get them sitting there talking about this $100 million egg, which they then say gets stolen, only to be returned Monday night by who?
Austin Theory.
Fucking Austin Theory, who the last time this kid was on Raw, yeah, fire that Austin Theory jabroni. The last time he was brought up to Raw, he was sent back down to NXT because he wasn't ready, and now he's in one of the biggest segments on Raw talking about the egg that got stolen. And what's Vince McMahon do? Oh, I'm glad that you actually returned it. Let's go ahead and take a picture.
No, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was brilliant.
Go ahead.
Sami
Sami Zayn is always brilliant.
came and goes, wait, let me get this straight. So whoever turns into egg gets a title shot, whoever gives you, information.
Yeah.
So he goes out, he knows he does it. He brings Austin Theory in.
Knowing that he stole the egg.
That's because you know what? You remind me of a young me. You can have the title shot. Sami Zayn lost his mind. Sami Zayn lost his fucking mind. He's like, well, you said da-da-da-da-da. And Vince goes, nobody likes a snitch. That did make me laugh. Apparently you didn't like it.
You know what that made me feel?
What? Mad.
It did.
Oh, God.
But I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, shit. We ain't got time. Go ahead.
It literally made me feel the same problems that the internet feels about WWE programming.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
Like, nobody likes a snitch. Well, the snitches are all sitting there saying, you shouldn't have fired all these motherfuckers, right? At the same time, like, kids like Austin Theory who aren't ready to be WWE.
But that's what Vince is going for. And I agree, but we all know that Vince is going for youth. And I think he was trying to they're gonna be pushing Theory.
No. And I know what you're saying. Let me go ahead and
I don't agree with it.
Let me point out though. Here's something that really bugs me.
This is true. I think
Sami Zayn is going to turn face after this whole. Actually, Sami Zayn's probably not even going to be around long enough to turn face.
Thanks for hanging out, Michael. You have a good Thanksgiving too, man.
Michael, happy Thanksgiving, brother. I love you. Have a great one. Let me point out that when it comes to this stuff, I don't think Sami Zayn's going to be there long enough to actually turn babyface.
No. You think he's going to leave too, or you think they're going to release him?
No, I think he's going to turn. I think he's going to leave, without a doubt. Like the other stuff, man. Like I just it boggles my mind.
So, like I said, the two things, and it's only two things I want to talk about on Raw.
Go ahead.
That part of that, and that part of it's this: Riddle coming out as Randy Orton.
I loved it.
That's classic.
Fucking loved it.
And he started talking like Randy. He's like, I got voices in my head. Play Randy's music, and he's walking out like Randy does the pose. My favorite though, he had like the flip flops, but he had on his feet. They made it like he had boots on.
Well, but let's also go ahead and say that when we saw this, Riddle had the fake mustache.
Yes.
And goatee,
I forgot about that.
and Randy's sitting there saying, "Why did you do that?" And he's like, because I had to reach in deep to get to my inner Randy Orton.
I want you to be like me, not be me.
Not be me. Then they go out to the ring and like Dolph Ziggler like rips the mustache off. Bobby Roode like rips the beard off. The match ends up having where
he hit RKO.
Riddle hits the RKO. And he even went for like the side, like
he took too long.
And he took too long. But he hits the RKO. He gets the 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton's like blowing up like crazy. And then he hands him the mustache. So Riddle puts the mustache back on.
He hits the bro, whatever.
The bro Derek.
Yeah, he
hits the bro Derek on Bobby Roode.
And if you notice,
the mustache fell off.
But Orton right now, you can tell, is having the time of his. When's the last time you saw Orton smile like that and just get? Orton is having the time of his life.
Well, interestingly enough, Sunday night at the pay-per-view, Randy Orton. Hold on. Randy Orton became the WWE wrestler with the most pay-per-view matches of all time.
Yep.
And had he wrestled on Monday night, he also would have become the wrestler with the most wrestling matches on Monday Night Raw of all time.
Oh, cool.
but he did not wrestle on Monday night, so that now has to wait until the following week. In terms of fun, I think that like there was a lot of stuff that happened. We all like we saw moments where we all hated Randy Orton for the fact that like he sat there and tried to make people touch his penis and do all this other crap. But in the last year or so, basically since Edge came back, so maybe 2 years, Randy Orton has been enjoying his time. And I think him and AJ Styles right now being in tag teams are enjoying the fact that their bodies are not
getting abused
the way that they once were. I mean, Randy Orton's a 13-time WWE champion. AJ Styles, even in the short time he's been with the WWE since 2016, he's like a 4-time.
And they could both go again if they had to have another title run. Orton he's fucking still.
You would
shape. He's in great shape.
You would instantly sit there and allow either of them into the main event picture if they wanted to be. And I don't know whose idea it is to not have them in that picture.
It might be them.
But I'll tell you, I have an issue with some of this. And it's not the same kind of issue that you would think. So Edge, when he came back, Edge is suddenly like instantly always looked at as when Edge sits there and says he wants the main event at WrestleMania, he's getting it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Why isn't Jeff Hardy getting that?
Because Matt's at AEW and then
who gives a fuck about Matt Hardy?
Smith, man.
Jeff Hardy was a former world champion.
When Miro lost, how many times did fucking Lana go through a table?
Yeah, but Miro wasn't ever world champion material.
Doesn't matter.
Hold on. I'm still talking about this because I want you to try to make me see the point. Bill Goldberg, right? Goldberg says, I'm going to come back because Vince McMahon wants him back, right? What match is he in?
Main event.
Or semi-main event.
Okay.
Jeff Hardy, former world champion, should be WWE Hall of Famer. Should be.
But how do we know that they haven't offered to him? He's like he didn't want it. How do we know? You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, Jeff over the years has done a whole lot of crazy shit. I'm sure his body is broken down. He might not want to be. It might not be them holding him back. It might be his choice.
Hold on.
We don't know.
Hold on. The only area where I almost agree with you on that is that when it comes to Jeff, I look at it and go, Vince McMahon goes, how do we know he's not going to pop on the drug test? That's the only that's the only thing that I when it comes to Jeff, okay? But let's be real. Should Randy Orton be a regular tag team wrestler at this point? Or should he be Edge? Or should he be Goldberg? Or should he be Rock or Steve Austin or John Cena at this point? Dude has been around for almost 20 freaking years. A 13-time world champion. The guy who has the most wins on pay-per-views. And the next time he wrestles on Raw, the most matches on Raw of all time. And yet he is not looked at in the same light as John Cena. And why not? By the way, John Cena and him have had 20 matches against each other, and Randy Orton's won 7 of them. So why isn't he looked at in the same light as a John Cena? You want to know why? I can tell you why.
Okay. He's
still here. If Randy Orton tomorrow were offered a 5-picture deal with any major motion picture company, tomorrow, he'd be world champion in the WWE.
Because they don't want him to leave.
Even if he did leave and he had to come back, and that's it. That's the difference.
And the second and final thing that I've got about Raw, and we already touched on it earlier, was the Seth Rollins attack. Now, the hell was that dude thinking? The hell was he thinking? And he can't in the angle. I saw different. I don't even know if he.
Oh, he got him good.
I don't even know if he jumped the rail. It looked like he came from backstage.
He jumped the rail, but he jumped it from like the corner.
So it looked like he came from backstage.
Almost,
and
yeah.
He speared him. I mean, because Seth came off his feet, but when they landed, Seth had him in that guillotine.
So it's the first time in a while that I've seen this kind of thing happen, right? And I don't know why somebody would get the wild hair up their ass to go after Seth.
And we touched on it earlier because they think that he's a smaller guy. Like I said, he would attack a Lesnar or Lashley or Goldberg. He thought he could take Seth, and he learned.
I would love to see somebody go after Lashley.
Oh, God.
I mean, Lashley is a former U.S. military
wrestler, and then he's a mixed martial art.
Yeah,
He's made of fucking granite.
he's a fucking monster.
What do you call a brick shit house? That's what he's built like.
But Seth Rollins isn't much different. I mean, is he a what do they call it? CrossFit monster? Absolutely. The dude has fucking like abs on top of abs. So when you and yes, did the guy catch him off guard? Absolutely.
And that's the only reason he went down.
But when he went down, immediately Seth had his head wrapped up in a guillotine. And this is what I messaged you because you're like, did you see this shit? And I'm like, did you see that Seth had his head in a fucking guillotine? And the reason why it's important that Seth had him in a guillotine is because
control.
While Seth is probably about 50 pounds smaller than this dude that attacked him, the fact of the matter is that he had his head wrapped up, his body wrapped up, and then when the referees got involved,
he let go.
He not only let go, but he was able to sneak out immediately underneath, go back onto camera,
and talk shit.
And sit there and say what he needed to. Now, did he have a busted lip at that point? Sure. But I'll tell you right now, if he wasn't a professional,
he'd have whooped his ass.
He would not have stopped on that dude. And you guys out there know that I like to talk about Busted Open Radio. And Bully Ray sat there and said, this used to happen every fucking week. When you were that evil, people tried to jump you every week. And like we've seen in the past where all of a sudden like Chris Jericho had a black eye when he came back on stage and he started talking to people, and it's like, why has he got a black eye? Then you look it up on the internet, and it was because when he went out to a bar, some dude jumped him and said, I don't like what you're saying about Shawn Michaels or whatever the fuck it was. And it didn't matter. Like, they went out there and did their job.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I don't have anything else.
Gosh.
I will I'll pull up an outro for you. You can go ahead and tell everybody how to enjoy.
Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge.
I don't know why Teddy Long's still talking, even though I clicked off of him.
So that's the show, folks, because I'm tired. I gotta get up early. And
Tino got a new promotion.
Yes, I need to do this.
So congratulations, brother.
2.5 hours earlier.
I love you.
We want to say thank you. You can check him out on the Twitter. He is at Potcheck. I am HootieFan91. On the Insta, he is Rob Potcheck. I am SC Tino. On the TikTok, he is Rob Potsy Potcheck. On Twitter, we are Potsy and Tino. On Facebook, we're the Potsy and Tino Show. You can check us out every week like you're doing right now on the YouTube. And
let's make sure we give everybody a big thank you.
You're just not gonna let me finish. Your drunk ass is gonna jump in. And
this isn't even about being drunk. This is making sure that we actually give a thanks, because we're gonna give thanks.
I was on my way to that before you rudely interrupted me.
You were not.
Yes, I was.
No, he was not. But I'll give it back to him.
Thank you to everybody except this fucker here. Thank you for coming every week and hanging out with us and laughing with us and having a good time. We're very thankful for you guys. We hope you guys have a very blessed and a very happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Eat all the turkey and let the Triple Fan hit you. Take naps. Watch the Macy Days Parade and some football or whatever you do. Just make sure you give thanks and make sure you tell everybody that you're thankful for them and your family and that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised, my people. So as always, we also got to say thank you to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song, which is our theme song.
We were going to miss something.
No, we weren't. If you hadn't fucking interrupted me, I was on a roll. I wouldn't have missed shit. Yes, I said it. So we want to say, let's go Oakland. Let's keep going. Thank you to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song. You can check it out on iTunes for 99 cents. That is the theme song for the Potsy and Tino Show. Until next week, we hear Ric Flair. He's saying, woo! Good night. Thinking. Oh, yeah. This motherfucker here. Yeah. I love you. Somebody call the cops. That's sexual harassment. We have an HR department. This is not Team Hell No. Woo!